AI Adele and I had a little chat this morning. I thought I'm doing this for my clients every day, and we've given away over 300. I'm losing count now of these sessions, of these one-to-one 60 to 90-minute sessions. And I was having a little chat with my AI Adele because when I put my clients' conversations, their transcripts with me and the things we talk about into this AI Adele, she usually comes back with things that my clients live in the session are saying to me, "Oh my gosh, you get me, you complete me, you're reading my mind." I mean, they're just overjoyed, right? They're just so happy. And so as we were moving through that today, I was like, wow, okay, there's something I probably need to say to all of you. And it might be a little hard for some of you. The plan was never the problem. You already know enough to make money. You already know enough to scale. You already know enough to execute. And yet, a lot of you are still operating like we're trying to survive our first 100K. And that's the part nobody talks about. We build success, but internally still operate from pressure, chaos, all the urgency, inconsistency, the overthinking, the avoidance, and survival mode. And after a while, I don't know, I was thinking about it this morning and it starts to feel confusing because from the outside, people think, oh, you're doing well, you're doing pretty good. But inside, I'm still not operating at my real capacity. If any of this hits you, I'm talking to you right now. Not the person who's looking for another business hack. I mean, I know I can deliver some business hacks, but that's not who I'm talking to. Not the person downloading their 87th productivity template. No, not them. Not the person consuming more information instead of implementing what they already know. I'm talking to the founders, the creators, the operators, the high capacity people who are tired of living below their actual level. Because at some point you realize more strategy is not the answer. And I provide these strategic sessions. I spend a full hour dissecting your business, looking at the stuck points and where you're stalled and what challenges you. But what I'm discovering across these 300 plus conversations, the real bottlenecks are execution, consistency, self-trust. Oh my God, that's a doozy. That's a big one. Clarity, nervous system regulation, and I don't say that's the focus of my coaching and consulting in my work life, but I'm recognizing it. I'm seeing it all over the place. I'm seeing all these women starting communities built around nervous system regulation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not even sure you have it in your own life yet, in your own business yet. And I think the number one challenge is the identity. It's learning to hold success without recreating the chaos. And that's the conversation I care about now. That's who I love to work with. That's who I love to talk with. I love to talk to those clients who are in a rebuild, who are in a pivot, who are really challenged because they've done 70,000 other businesses and modalities, and they've tried everything, and they've sold everything, and they've worked all the jobs, and they've built all the modules, and they've tried so many different things, and they still show up going, "Why? Why am I struggling?" Part of my own evolution in this season in particular, in these last few months, has been realizing I've built 7 figures ARR while still psychologically functioning like I have something to fucking prove. Still moving with that survival energy, still over delivering because I'm afraid no one will love me or like me, still under positioning myself because I want to be for everyone, and still making myself accessible in ways that I don't know, this sounds like coachy speak, and I don't mean it that way, but it's ways that dilute the alignment. It steals my authority. It frustrates me, and I know I'm not the only one. So, from this day forward, what I am saying to you is that this space, this content, this community is for people who are ready to recalibrate how they operate. Not just making more money, because that will happen. That absolutely will happen. But I want you to be, what's the word I want? Congruent's too big, too fancy, too, $1.59 word. That's not what I'm looking for. I want the simplest way to tell you this. Like, the level you've already reached, that's what I want. Because your business isn't always broken, but sometimes your operating system is outdated. And I don't just mean the business operating system, because we've been going deep with my team and my people and my power partners. Like, we are building out the back end of businesses, and we are vibe coding and plugging in the AI and pulling in all the tools to make it flow effortlessly underneath your business. And so I'm realizing, oh my gosh, so many of these women don't have any kind of operating system running in their business at all. And if they do have something, it is completely outdated. But I'm not just talking about the external operating system for your business. I'm talking about your internal operating system. And when that changes, everything can change in your business. When you really sink into it and sit with it and understand how genius you are, how brilliant you are, how your skills and expertise and experience have positioned you. Your pricing changes, your standards change, your execution changes. My guess is that even your audience changes. And then I start seeing, I watch this happen on calls with my clients. I see like the peace and the calmness come over their body, and they exhale a really deep breath, and their shoulders soften, and they start laughing, and they're leaning back and swirling in their chair, like, suddenly we're the vibes just completely alter when we reach this point in the conversations. So if you're feeling like, I know I'm capable of more, but I'm not accessing it, I'm not tapping into it consistently, you're in the right room. This is what BYOB is all about. So let's talk about what's actually holding a high capacity people like you back? What's holding you back? These are the conversations I want to have in this community. Yes, I am going to support you in getting those 5K mini launches under your belt. Yes, I am going to support you. If you have not had consistent 10K months, what the hell are you waiting for? Let's get you there. Some of you really need to take a look inside, under the hood. I was on LinkedIn and I was, I follow Jane Fonda and Dolly Parton on Substack. I was on Substack rather. And these girls crack me up, right? These women are just, man, they are so energized. They are so vibrant. They are so fierce. But, Dolly Parton's going through a little bit of a health crisis and she had to cancel her residency in Vegas and some shows in Vegas. And so she came on and she made a little video to talk to her public, her fans, her people. And, she said, I'm going to be fine. I've got some work to do. She said, think of me as like a classic car. And when they lifted up the hood, they got in there and they were like, ooh, honey, like we got to rebuild the engine and your transmission is slipping. And we're not even so sure about those hubcaps. Like there's a lot of work that's got to happen here. And, I listened to Dolly talk about that and knowing that she's my mom's age. She's in a season like my mom where she's just lived through the loss of her husband and she's just moved through that year of first and she's going into that second year. And I was thinking, it's like that though, isn't it? Right? Like you got to lift up the hood and you got to get under there. And not just in your business, but yourself. You, who you are, how you are showing up online, how you are participating in your own life, in your own networking. So I hope that as we move through this together, you will see that my goal is to stretch you. My goal is to talk to you like a founder, like the high achieving, highly capable, successful business owner that you are. And I know that what I do has to reflect that too. You have to see that I'm holding the line and that I have high expectations for you and your abilities and this community and the collaborations, and that the women I am putting in the rooms with you are capable and equipped and just as worthy of the excellence and the wealth that you're building. I love you, doll babies. And I'm really glad you're here, bombshells. I'm so blessed and I'm so honored. And it has been the privilege of my life to be able to support thousands of women across my little corner of the internet. But yeah, I put myself through my own 90-minute strategic session. Session? What did I just say? Remember, I'm still recovering from a concussion. I put myself through my own 90-minute strategic session with the whole thing, with the Google Doc and the recording and the whole thing. Pulled the transcript, came back, and this is the result. So are you ready to go higher with me? Are you ready to show up and shine? And stop apologizing for the brilliance and the beauty that is you. I love being with you. I can't wait for our $1,000 Thursday call this week. It's going to be really juicy.